gentlemen, Jim wants to say just a few words to you this morning. Would you please welcome Patriot Jim Bates. I'm going to stand here as your attorney to make sure.
I probably won't get into some specifics about that since there is ongoing litigation over the issue. There were several different points I wanted to make. Some of them kind of related to that, but others really related to the current rave of the moment. Okay, to the current rave of the moment, they're considering, quote, an assault weapons ban, which we know is all semi-automatic weapons. That's more of the topic of the day. The first thing I'd say is that they talk about a magazine limit. Well, my understanding is Eric Harris at Columbine, and I won't get his name right, but Sung Wee Cho at Virginia Tech used 10-round magazines. They changed them out. Harris fired something like almost 100 shots, and Cho fired like 170 shots when he killed all those people there. Magazine limits don't do anything to stop those people. When there's no forceful resistance, you've got all the time in the world to change a magazine when people's backs are turned to you. The thing is, when a magazine change is going to make a difference is forceful opposition. So it's going to impact any armed resistor just as much as it would that attacker. So the magazine bans are worthless. Now the point I wanted to make more on the topic going on today, which has to do with the quote assault weapons ban. Now many people own these semi-automatic weapons. The fact is the Second Amendment, if you look at the U.S. versus Miller case, 1939, part of that decision held that the arms of the common soldier were what the Second Amendment primarily protected. Now, because Miller was dead, he wasn't there to present the evidence that his sawed-off shotgun was used in World War I as a trench gun. The court acknowledged that and said they would have found in his favor had that evidence been presented to them. So an assault weapons ban on its very face is against the Second Amendment. Your right to hunt or right to self-defense are derivatives. They are not the primary purpose of that. Now to get on to some of this, I consider when they want to pass an assault weapons ban to violate that primary purpose, the oaths of office for the United States and probably most of the state offices, they're supposed to defend us from all enemies, foreign and domestic. When you vote to disarm the American people in the face of their enemies, well, you're committing treason because you are aiding and abetting the enemies of the people of the United States. That's what we saw with Fast and Furious. We saw a drug cartel armed by our own government go and kill hundreds of Mexicans, which the Mexican government wants Holder extradited to Mexico City to face charges. A Border Patrol agent was killed. A man on his ranch was killed. A jet skier was killed. Numerous other Americans were too. That's a horrible event. You had the aftermath of Katrina. The mayor had the police and the National Guard go around and disarm people from their homes in the face of mobs, burning, looting, rioting, raping. Well, that's disarming people in the face of their domestic enemies. Again, that's treason. The mayor is up on racketeering charges and stuff, which is good to see. However, they ought to add treason on the list. Now we get down to the topic of the day here, Dianne Feinstein. And Blattenberg and Schumer and Bloomberg, let's add all those names in there. Obama. Yeah, well, all those people, they want to take those firearms away from people here today. And you don't know what's going to happen 30 years from now, 50 years from now. We can have something just like in China where dissidents are killed and marched off. You have a state legislature in New Hampshire. She wanted to propose a law to limit the freedoms of conservatives. No kidding, go look it up. So that's basically going after political dissidents. How far is the step from that towards taking them off the camps or trumping up charges to kill them? Folks, we're in some serious crap here today, and we need to respond forcefully. This is the line in the sand here. Because some future day, we worry about terrorists and that. You see in France, this is a country that was primarily a Christian nation, and they're about 1/3 Muslim now as people have emigrated in there, and well, they want to implement Sharia law. Well, our House Speaker is an openly gay man. I don't hold that against him. But however, I'd like to point out to him under Sharia law, he would be hanging from a bridge in Iraq. So it's in his interest, and people like him, to make sure they have access to arms to resist some type of Nazi detention camp, marching them off for their political views, for their lifestyle choices, their religious choices, or the color of their skin. That is your last defense against tyranny. I'm not going to monopolize this microphone anymore, folks, but I'm with you, and, you know, I wound up getting chosen by fate, I guess, to bear the brunt of this. The city was trying to intimidate gun owners by arresting me for a law that had been off the book for 9 years. When they realized that, they just tried to trump something up to charge me with. Colorado Springs arrested a guy down there, and they had the wisdom, at least, to realize, oh geez, we screwed up. Here's your gun back, apologized, and everything like that. And they're probably still facing legal action, but at least they realized they made a mistake. Thornton tried to double down and get me on state charges, so.
Thanks, Jim.